How you doing?
Just fucking working my ass off.
Just
I
chilling?
mean, fuck yeah, right now.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just chilling too. I mean, I
Yeah.
was gonna eventually, after this, either play Apex or Overwatch. I haven't decided because Apex is really only good for three people since there's no solo.
Yeah.
It's only three people. So, but then Overwatch, you can just, it doesn't matter. You can play anything anytime. Who fucking cares? But for fucking Apex, it sucks playing as just one person. So if I have people who want to play after, then I will. So
Okay.
yeah. Either way, I mean, we have a wide range of topics, which is why I like that because it's not just specific to one thing. Like I know I mentioned, Devin,
Yeah.
he like he wanted to come on and chat about things with us like next week. And I'm
Yeah.
like, sure, man. Like, bring a
As well.
topic or two and just come and chat. Like, it's just two bros, you know? Anybody's welcome.
Yeah. Exactly.
But, but yeah, I mean, the most new thing to talk about will probably be the new Apex gun. I don't even know if you play that game. You play that game?
No, no, I don't actually.
Not even tried it?
No, not even tried it.
Shit, eh? Well, I mean, you've probably seen a video of how it works. You just
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen a
It's
bunch of
it's a
videos.
BR, right? It's a BR. That's all that you need to know. So, but this is the first type of thing they've done since releasing the game. Like, they had a whole thing where their premium skins and weapon skins were like super overpriced. Like, you could only buy like one per time you spent money because they cost so much. Like, you could only buy like coins in like 500, 1,000, or like there was like a few intervals of ways you could buy coins, but a skin would cost more than like the $10 one. So it's like no one could buy it unless they wanted to spend like the $30 one to get the coins. So I
Yeah.
know people were pretty upset about that, but after they got over that, and like even I spent some money on it because I always think like if I'm gonna play a free game, I'll put some money into it. Like not the full price of what a game would be, so I'm not gonna spend $80 on it, but I'll put like 30, 40 so that because I feel blessed that it was free, so I spend a little bit on it because I know they put a lot of work into it, and it is fun. So, anyways, nothing has come out. They haven't changed the map. They haven't changed any new heroes. No, nothing. Just the new gun, the Havoc, which is good because they were able to sneak in another energy rifle because the game didn't have like I think it only had two at the time, but it's hard. It's tough. It's tough to see how well it is because you can use it as just the regular gun, like you pick it up and shoot it, but you can put two different hops on it, which is new. Like that's new.
Okay.
So normal guns, like there are some guns like the Wingman, it's a pistol. You can put a hop on it to increase your headshot damage, and
Okay.
and but that's the only one you can put on, and you have to find it. If you don't find it, then you don't get it. And there are other guns like there's an LMG that has a hop that when you shoot it normally, it takes a while to charge up to shoot rapidly. But with the hop, it's a turbocharger. It shoots rapidly right away. So it's like a buff
That
for
would
the
make it
gun.
pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a buff for the gun. So the Havoc is the first gun to have two hops that can work with it. It can either I think it handles the same way the R31 carbine and the Devotion does, where you can like speed it up, I believe, like shoot it really fast. Or there's another hop you can do that makes it shoot like one huge bolt that does like a lot of damage, basically like a sniper shot. So you have those
Oh,
two options, but you have to find either one. But so I personally haven't tried it because I know there's the turbocharger one it works with, so that's the one that speeds it up, and then there's the select fire one. I have found the select fire one. I've tried it, um, but my aim's not like super good in BRs, so I kind of like the guns that are just automatic that I could just spray and pray. So far I'm not good with the new gun in Apex, but I mean, I once played a game with my friend Taylor, and we had our third guy. It was a dude who was like, we thought he was cheating, but maybe he was good. Like I always think people who are just insanely good are cheating because it's so easy to cheat in games nowadays, like or get hacks or something like that. I don't know, but this guy was so good. He got like 17 kills and we won the game. Like Taylor and I didn't do anything, and he was using the wingman with the hop with the headshot one. So I was like, holy shit, dude. It was crazy. But yeah, the game needed a new gun. They needed another energy rifle or gun in general. We got it. It's customizable. 7.5 out of 10. That's what I give it. And even using it, it's not a bad gun. So I'll have to try it with the I'll have to try it with the turbocharger and see how I feel. But that's pretty much. That's it for Apex, honestly. Hopefully it gets better though. I'm sure it will. I mean, I know they announced new heroes. Not announced, but they're saying we're working on.
They were teasing.
Yeah.
I was reading up a bit one of the new heroes as well. That may or may not be coming in, because some people were going through the files of the game and they found some files regarding a hero, and some people were saying that it could just be heroes that didn't make the cut for the final game.
Oh, or so like on release.
They may not actually even be part of the game.
It's hit and miss when people do that kind of thing, because
it's data mining, right?
Yeah, so I don't like. I know people did it for Pokemon Go to know when or where you could find Ditto or when more Pokemon were coming out, and like, I don't hate it, but it's like don't spoil it. Like, I don't really care. People don't need to like be knowing what's coming out and when. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the end of the world if we just wait for things to happen.
I mean, I was a little impatient when it came to Pokemon Go, so I actually downloaded the API before it was released in Canada.
Actually, don't ban me, Pokemon, but I also downloaded it early because I wanted to play as well, and I was like, man, fuck America. They don't deserve it first.
I don't use that account that I downloaded pre-release in Canada anymore, but still.
Exactly. Like, I had the American iTunes set up, but I couldn't use it properly. I don't know. I switched to a new one that was for me, but it was still, I wanted it so early.
That's why I use Android, because I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah, true. Well, I'm actually, like, side topic, I'm actually looking to get the Google Pixel 3. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I might be an Android boy as well. So.
I was actually looking at getting. The same side topic that you're on. I was looking at getting the I can never pronounce that friggin' name.
The Huawei.
Huawei
P20. P20 Pro or P20?
No, just the P20.
Just the regular one?
Because I can't afford a P20 Pro.
Yeah. I mean, who are you with? Just I know this is like so weird, but
No, it's all good. I'm with Fido.
Fido. Oh, okay.
So Rogers.
Yeah, subset of Rogers. Yeah. So I mean, if your credit's good, like
no, it's fucked.
The phones aren't that expensive. If Fido is the same as Kudo, right? Mm-hmm. Then the P20 Pro is only $150 on Tab Medium, and the regular P20 is $0 on Tab Medium, or whatever their equivalent of tab system is, like gold or silver or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what level I have for my plan, but my plan's freaking great, and I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, you sound like every customer I have. What is your plan?
It's $75 a month. 10 gigs of data, unlimited local, long distance, unlimited text.
You know what? That is actually pretty good. I know our $75 plan is 15 gigs, but that's for existing customers. You know what I'm saying? Not new ones.
Yeah.
But like 75. Yeah. So you're definitely eligible for the Tab Medium phone. Like, you could get the P20 for $0. I guarantee it. And it has good specs. Like, its camera's pretty good. It's like 24 megapixel on the back, 16 on the front. And it's pretty strong for games. It has a little bit of a security issue, honestly, but I feel like people kind of know that. And if you can get over it, then it's no big deal.
I've got no issues with that. I've been doing this IT bullshit for fucking 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. So if you don't really care about the security thing or whatnot, like, it's no big deal, honestly. Like, Get it then. Get it if you want, because I guarantee it's $0, and you just have to pay like an extra $15 on your bill or something like that. Or I don't
Yeah,
know how Fido does it, but yeah.
Fido, it's just whatever your plan is, it just takes a percentage off that.
Oh
And for
yeah,
2 years.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, there you go. Wouldn't even change.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Cause I'm trying to think. Like, don't do it yet, cause I'll look into it for you, see if it's worth it for Kudo, but maybe not. We'll see.
You trying to convert me now?
Yeah, literally. I hear phones. I'm like, phones. I can't stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Well, I mean, moving past Apex, done with that. Let's hear something. Hear something from you, and we'll go back to something else I have.
Oh, did you hear the release of Nvidia's new card?
Is that the 20 series, like the 20?
No, they actually brought in what's called a 1660 Ti.
1660.
Yeah. So
I'm going to pull it up while you talk, and I'm gonna hear.
Yeah, it's going back as a GTX card that they just released instead of another RTX, and the specs on it, they're pretty good, but the retail price of it is a little questionable to the performance, and
Right.
it's not even another RTX card. They're not going ahead. It's actually back in. It's using the same architecture as the RTX cards.
Mm-hmm.
So its architecture is, they call it Turing. The last generation was Pascal.
Right.
Now it's got a less what's called CUDA cores than the RTX 2060.
Right.
But
Okay. I remember those. I remember reading about those ones. Is
Yeah.
$280 too much for it then? Is that what you think?
In terms of the what it is,
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's literally like $30 more than a 1060. Right?
Like the TI, like the RTX version, right?
No, the GTX 1060. So the generation previous.
Oh yeah.
It's like $30 more.
Mm.
So I mean that would piss off a lot of 1060 people that like just bought their cards before this came out.
I mean,
Right?
I have a 1070 Ti, so I think I'm okay for a while.
Now here's the thing though. This card is knocking on the back door of that 1070 Ti in
Right.
terms of performance.
Right. Well, give me some top games that it will run no problem. Like the new Call of Duty.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like this 10
Yeah,
this 10
it'll run.
or the 1660 Ti will run the new COD pretty good.
Oh yeah, it'll run all the new AAA titles
Right.
at a 1070 level performance.
Uh-huh. Whew.
But I mean, it's, as I said, it's like it's a piss off. Like the core clock of it, like the speed that it can get is faster than the RTX 2060, and it's even faster than the 2070.
Do you think they do this kind of thing to keep you upgrading sooner than they know you have to?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Nvidia is stating that they wanted people that are on like an old GTX a 960 to upgrade
Yeah.
to the 1660 Ti.
I'm seeing that's all they're comparing it to. Like they have a list of games and they have the 1660 Ti and the GTX 1060 and then the 960. Like those are the cards they're comparing all these games to and trying to prove how much better the 1660 Ti is going to be than the ones you currently have.
Yeah, and then you have content creators like Linus Tech Tips who actually went ahead and did a review on it, and they're not boasting about it. They're actually like shaming Nvidia for it because of some of the reasons that I've already stated.
Mm-hmm.
Like the clocks on it are much faster than, well, the 2060 and the 2070.
It's just weird to me.
And I mean, it does have it's got 12 gigs of GDDR6 memory on it, so it's up with the RTX versions of memory,
Right.
which like it's using everything that the RTX has. It doesn't have a couple of the features though. Um, what a couple of the features that were introduced in the RTX series, it actually took out in order to stay with the
I mean, you're not gonna
like
sell this for $300 and keep all the features that the RTX version has, because then no one's gonna buy it. No one's gonna see the value in spending $500+ when they can just spend $300.
Well, here's the thing. Even if they did add those, it'd basically just be an RTX 2060 Ti,
For
or even like an RTX, like in between an RTX 2070 and
a piece of the
a
price.
yeah. I mean, I'm a little dumbfounded by it, to be quite honest.
Honestly, I see that they're trying to draw the parallels on which one's better, but if I already had a 1080 Ti or a 1070 Ti, I'm not changing. You know,
No,
it's
no,
it's
nobody
only
would
for the
expect
people
to.
who are previous. Like I get that they're targeting the
Yeah,
nines. Like I get that. So
and I mean they also released it to have a bash at AMD because AMD released the RX 590
hmm
and it's around the same price. The 1660 Ti does beat it.
mm. So they
On
got
my
them.
yeah,
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I
no,
remember when they released the 2060, the RTX. I thought that my card would go down in price, but it did not. And even the dude who I went to talk to at Candy Computers was like, honestly, man, like they don't care. Like you're either gonna buy it or you're not gonna buy it. They're not putting it on
yeah,
sale just because the new one came out. So
and that's the thing that I like about AMD. A lot of times, if they do release something new, they'll discount, even if it's just slightly. They'll discount their old cards.
yeah, because it's like why keep such a high stock of cards when you're trying to push out new ones? Like push them
Yep.
all out. Like make the old ones cheaper so people who want a small upgrade can afford it, and then the people who really fucking want your new one, they'll buy it.
Yep.
So you're selling both. I mean,
And I mean, the shitty part with Nvidia at least is that they don't even support SLI anymore. Apart from, I think it's the 2080 and the 1080. I think they still do. But
huh.
I mean, for people that like to have multiple graphics cards, it just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Whereas AMD, you can do it. You can do whatever as long as they're within the same generation. Like AMD was great for that because back in the day of the the 7970, the 7870 and all that, you could literally crossfire for AMD. You could have a 7970, a 7870, a 7850. You could crossfire them all.
Mhm.
Whereas Nvidia, you had to have like a 960 and a 960
You have to have
or
the
970,
exact
970.
same card. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you didn't, it wouldn't really work the greatest. I mean, there's obviously you can work around it, but for native support, it's not even there.
Yeah. That makes sense. I understand why each company does both. AMD maybe just wants to have a bigger market share, so they're letting this type of cross-platform graphics carding happen, whereas everybody always is watching out for Nvidia's newest thing. So they're like, well, take it or leave it. You only can have one, and we know you're gonna do it.
Yep.
So I mean, honestly, having two 1070 Ti's, I'm okay with that. Like, I'd be totally okay with that. So
Now,
the problem is I'd
here's
have
the
to
thing,
buy
though.
it. Yeah.
The Here's the thing though.
My tower does not fit two graphics cards. That I can tell
Oh,
you
I
for
can make it fit two
for
graphics cards.
free. I just need a new one, or make you make it fit because it just fits everything I need.
Well, we'd have to probably start water cooling at that point, but
Yeah,
either
I'm
way,
not looking to change it, and honestly, I wouldn't even mind a taller tower. So it might even
yeah.
be not a big deal.
And
But
and that's not hard to do either.
no, exactly.
Um, Now back to the topic there. The only issue with the multi graphics card things is that some games do support it, but most do not support a multi graphics card platform.
Oh, they want one. They want the same one.
No, just a single graphics card is what most games
Yeah, yeah, I've
support.
seen that in
They're
the WoW settings. You have to
yeah,
choose one.
they're yeah, or you can um, as I said, some games do support it. Let me just quickly check. So here we go.
Competitive games are played at 120 FPS. That to me, just, I don't know. I like 60. Maybe I'm used to 60.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
But like, why play League on 120? What are you gaining from the, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe for shooters, like Call of Duty at 120, I get that, but
Yeah, I mean, some older games like Alien Isolation support Crossfire, which is multi graphics cards. Arma 3 supports it. Ashes of the Singularity, which is most people use it as a benchmark, but it's a very good benchmark for multi GPU. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, again an older title.
Honestly though, I hate to say it, that's the only Assassin's Creed I haven't played, and I really should, because it looked dope.
It was pretty fun. I found that there was a little too much ship things.
Ship mechanics, I guess. Yeah.
I still say that Brotherhood's my favorite.
Yeah, I also agree with that.
I haven't played any of the.
I played Syndicate and stuff like that. Like that. That's the one where you're in England, and I've played the other one as well. But I still think that the Rome 8, like that one, is that Brotherhood? That's like Assassin's Creed like 3, right? I guess if I remember.
Yeah. It was
that's the best one. Brotherhood's the best one, hands down. That's Ezio, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Yeah, my favorite part was, you recruit some assassins and then you whistle to have one come and assassinate a target.
Yeah,
and then out of nowhere you get the giant guy with the fucking two-handed mace. It's like it's assassin time.
It's like, okay, buddy, calm down.
Yeah.
No, I love that if you had all of the assassins, you could call an arrow storm on everyone on the screen and kill them all. That shit was dope. Oh man, I miss that game. I think I still have an Assassin's Creed from Xbox One, but maybe not. You can get it for the computer now, right? You can get anything on the computer now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Again with the Crossfire, Far Cry 4, Primal, and 5 all support Crossfire.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool. So there are some current games that do it, but more often than not, you're going to be playing games that just want one.
Exactly.
So
GTA 5 supports it.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one then.
I mean, GTA 5 is old as all balls, but everybody still plays it.
Honestly, I don't understand. It is old as fuck. You're right. But people still love that game.
And people still use it as a benchmark, because it is actually a fairly demanding benchmark.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Yeah. Either way, tell me what you think of the 1660 Ti out of 10. What do you think?
Out of 10. I'd probably give it about a 6.
A 6?
Not knocking on its performance or anything like that.
6.6.
Yes, 6.6.
Yes.
But I mean, it doesn't even follow any of the naming schemes that NVIDIA's been going for.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the price isn't bad, but it's released after the Pascal cards. It's got everything except for 2 features to make it an RTX card.
Yeah. They could have done better, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Not trashing the card by giving it a 6, but they could have done better.
I just don't get why they didn't just make it an RTX card.
Yeah. No, honestly, I agree. Next, news. And this is a good one for people who like Overwatch. Okay. 6 days ago, they released a new map. It had been on the PTR for a while. It's Paris, France.
Oh, really?
Yes. I don't
Bring it
know.
back into Overwatch.
It's pretty dope. I've played it. I played it a few times last night. Granted, I never won. I was playing with Alec and Taylor. It wasn't our fault though, and I can say that wholeheartedly because Taylor and I both played tanks. Alec played healer, and we were trying very hard to communicate with our team. But we did not win in the 3 or 4 games we played on Paris. But I think it's a in my opinion, it's a DPS map. So they the thing I don't like, I'll start with the things I don't like. They revealed the map with no like hype, no trailer, no payload. It's literally 2 CP. So which I like 2 CP. I don't mind 2 CP, but no, they didn't hype it up. I like when they hype up the maps coming out. It make me excited to play again. I didn't even know it was coming out until Taylor said it was out, and he's like, "Come play." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll come check it out." Like, sure, but
I mean, how long's it been since the last map was released?
oh man, September. September is when Busan came out, which was the most newest one, and it's a hold the point.
Is that the smaller one with the gong in the middle?
Busan,
The
yeah,
big
yeah,
statue?
yeah. That's Busan. It's a hold the point map.
Yeah.
So that came out in September, and so it's been since then. We're in February, but it's a DPS map, and I say that because it's narrow streets, corridors. Then you get to the point, then another narrow street, and then the second point, which is the one closest to the defense spawn. It has like 6 pillars and lots of spots for DPS to pop in and out of. And I don't know, if you're not a DPS player or if you don't know how to play DPS, like you're gonna find it very hard to like attack, because once you get onto the second point, it's very open, which leaves healers and tanks like sitting ducks. So
I mean, it leaves everybody as a sitting duck. But
yeah,
if you know how to
honestly,
play what your class is.
the first point, this map feels small too. Like, let me just say, because it's 2 CP, it is. It was so small that I walked from my spawn to the point and no one contested me. Like, I just walked around them and got to the point because like no one knew. Like, everybody's still learning where the map is and stuff like that. But it's just like, I don't know. They could have done better. And I personally don't play a lot of DPS, so I would like a map that caters to tanks. And 2 CP is almost, in my opinion, like a 3 out of 10 for just map type 2 CP. It's really down there. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know if that map was necessarily gonna spike people coming back to Overwatch, but
I mean, you normally play Moira.
yeah, healing. I like healing and tanking. So no, for Moira, every map is good because she does what she wants. And
I mean, especially in those corridors, that must be nice too.
yeah, you can get in and out pretty quickly. It's hard because on your way to the first point, there's a lot of elevation. So for the defending team to set up, it's really easy. It's almost kind of like the Anubis 2 CP map, where you can just be up and looking down. But it was so easy for us to get around that they didn't even contest it. I mean, and we both times I was on attack, we got the first point within a minute, because it just was so easy. And then the second point was taking like 16 years because it was just our DPSs and their DPSs shooting each other while the tanks just stood there in the middle like, what? But yeah, I think most people agree it's a DPS map. This was not by far that exciting, but it is cool because it looks nice. They make Paris look nice. The graphics are nice. Everything is in French. Like the signs on the houses are in French. It's pretty neat. Still have yet to win on it. I might tonight. Hopefully I can win a round on it, but we will see now. I get that they released it for like Valentine's Day, quote unquote, ish, but I don't like 2 CP maps. So in my few games on it, I will probably give it 5 out of 10. Half.
Yeah.
Not great. Maybe I'll try it as DPS tonight and see how it goes. But realistically, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10 because you have to communicate with your team. And lately, Overwatch, no one does that, and no one really cares.
It's kind of crappy.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just disappointing. So we'll see. I'm gonna play it a little bit more and get to know it more. I might change my rating next week, but probably not. It does kind of suck. So that's all I have to say about that one. Next news.
So it seems like we're just flip flopping here. You're more of the games, and I'm going on.
You're the
hardware.
info. Yeah, you're the info.
Yeah.
So tell me about AMD. Tell me about Intel.
So a lot of people are into this craze where Intel is the best no matter what. I mean, and for a long time it was, to be quite honest. AMD had affordable, Intel had performance.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's still the same, but AMD has brought so much to the table now with Ryzen. I know it's a little late to be talking about Ryzen now, but with all of their updates and everything, Ryzen was built to be future proofed. So I built your computer.
Yep.
With Ryzen in mind, because that same socket with all of Ryzen's new updates for at least the Ryzen 3, 5, and 7 series, not Threadripper. You can't put a Threadripper CPU in yours.
Yeah, I'll need a new CPU soon.
But I mean, you'll be able to use any of, because Ryzen 3 is coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to put one of those CPUs into your motherboard because AMD future-proofed it. They're boasting future-proof. They're not going to change the socket until I think 2020 or 2021.
Right.
Which I mean, if you look at Intel, with each revision, they've been making a new socket.
Mm-hmm.
Up until 7th gen, 7, 8, and 9, you can use the same motherboard, but it's only because Ryzen did that. AMD did that.
Right.
Now, if you're looking to build another PC nowadays, it's price to performance. Intel is expensive, but you still do get the performance. Now, AMD is cheaper, but you still do get a lot of performance out of it.
I mean, I personally had what graphics card did I have first?
You had an RX 470.
Yeah, that's theirs, right?
Yeah, that's an AMD graphics card.
Literally no issues whatsoever. Like it was not the problem that my computer currently still has. So I have had no issue with it. It's still a great card, and it ran most of my games, no issue. Like a couple of them were meh. And the only reason I decided to change was because it was on sale.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You know, I do think AMD products are great.
Yeah. And those are just the graphics cards. We're talking about the processors right now.
Exactly.
And the processors are actually great. I'm running with a Ryzen 5 1600X, and you're running with a Ryzen 5 1600.
Mm-hmm.
They have the best multitasking out there. AMD does.
Mm-hmm.
Intel is still king of the single core. But when it comes to games now aren't just running on single cores anymore. They're starting to demand more cores.
Right.
And AMD has always outdone Intel in terms of cores and core speeds. Core clocks, as most people refer to them.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking to build one, Ryzen will end up netting you a less expensive system for negligible performance differences. Like, you can still build a Ryzen put a Ryzen CPU in on a Ryzen board and run your NVIDIA card. You don't have to go full Ryzen, and you don't have to go full AMD.
Yeah.
So it's just in terms of if you're an Intel fanboy, you're just gonna say screw it and pay the extra. But if you're really looking to build something and you don't have a huge budget, Ryzen is it's the way to go right now.
Yeah.
Especially with their lower end stuff. Like AMD released a APU, the Athlon 200GE. There's actually a YouTuber that I like watching called Low Spec Gamer, and he put the Athlon 200GE up with the RX 550,
right,
which is AMD's. They label it as their esports graphics card. It's good for Rocket League, League of Legends, Dota.
Oh, okay.
It's just a low end card. Like you can pick one up for around $150 at the most.
Yeah.
And he games on it. He even did Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Mind you, he had to do a little file tweaking.
Yeah.
And the graphics aren't the greatest, but if you don't have a big budget and you still want to play the games for the stories, it's great.
That's amazing. I like that companies kind of take. It's not even like they take shots at each other, but they.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they do, but at our benefit. You know what I mean? Like they tit for tat each other, and the consumer somehow is always winning, and I love that. The
consumer's always winning as long as they have the mindset of price to performance.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when AMD came out with Ryzen, the next architecture that Intel came out with was Coffee Lake, and they had literally decided that they had to add more cores to their CPUs, even their lower end, like the i5s and the i3s, because AMD did it. With AMD's newest, the Ryzen 2s, I believe that they don't even have, well, apart from the Athlon, they don't have a 4-core. They just went straight to 6-core.
Oh.
6 cores for under $200 on a processor is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's something I would want. I don't. It's not that I want a specific spec to be, or it's not that I am brand loyal when it comes to computer parts. I'm literally run my game the best, get my money.
Exactly.
So if you're gonna give me all these things for less money, then you're going to get my money.
Exactly, and more. I find that more people need to start thinking that way, and maybe it'll change the way that Intel and NVIDIA price their stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, AMD still has expensive products like their Threadripper and their Vega cards, but they put the price down on their Vega 56. Vega 56 was at around $279 American to compete with the 1070 and the 1060. Just,
I mean, it's good that everybody has a luxurious or a premium card or processor, or every company has a premium type of product that they can sell you. Then they have like mid-range and lower range for people who, can't afford it but still don't want to miss out so heavily. And so like one day I'll save up and only have premium parts on my computer when maybe I don't need all of them, but it's just peace of mind or something like that. But also knowing that I can get a lower price part and not miss out on so much just impresses me. Yeah, AMD really killing the game lately. I still don't hate Intel. I think they're great products, and when you buy it, you know what you're getting. Like, if you buy an i7, you know that's one of the best things that's going into your computer.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need to know much about computers to know that they have ingrained i3, i5, i7 into our brains to know the difference between each one. So, you
And
know,
as I said, the Intel still is the king of the single core.
mm-hmm.
And if you're in a business environment that you need to use like virtual machines and all that, Intel still is the way to go, because most programs that, like, let's say in like a paper mill, most programs that you have are built for Intel. You're not going to be using any sort of AMD stuff.
No, yeah, that's right.
But in a gamer's perspective, it's more price to performance, especially if you don't have a huge budget.
Mm-hmm. So as it stands now, would you can't really give a rating to each company, but who would you say is currently step-upping the other?
I mean, step-upping as in...
Like for gaming, would you say AMD?
For budget gaming, I would say AMD.
Yeah. And like day-to-day run a business, you know.
Intel.
Yeah. So yeah,
Now,
each
if it's a small business though, like you're not using any sort of special programs or anything like that. I mean, even if you're using stuff like AutoCAD or SketchUp, you can use the AMD processors. In fact, for SketchUp and anything that's rendering or anything like that, AMD is actually better than Intel in that aspect.
Oh, I like to hear that, because I'll be rendering with AMD.
Yeah,
for this.
I uploaded a video to my YouTube a little while ago, and it took like no time at all.
It's good. Yeah, it's so it's not even a matter of versus, as in who's better. It's just versus as in you just wanted to show the strengths and weaknesses of both.
Yeah,
I like that, because that's exactly what we're going to go into next for our final topic. This for the first week is, and it relates to me personally, because I just today finished deciding which of these products won my heart over. So you'll find out. But the last thing I'm here to talk about is Google Home versus Amazon's Alexa. And yeah, and because I had the pleasure of winning one of each at a Stag and Doe I went to on Saturday.
Oh, really? You won both?
I won both. I won the door prize, which was a Google Home Mini, and then I won one of the raffle prizes, which was the Amazon Echo Dot, so the Alexa one. And
you just got a horseshoe stuck up your ear, don't
I
you?
absolutely do. It was nuts. So then I thought to myself,
unless it comes to roll up the rim.
Oh my god! I don't want to talk about next week's topic. Next week's topic will be roll up the rim. That will be a topic, 100%. So save me for next week, because dear God, do I have something at that. Anyway, so I won them both, and I thought I'm only gonna keep one, right? I don't. They don't work well together, right?
Of course not.
Only multiple Amazon Dots and multiple Google Homes work together, like themselves. So I thought I'll bring it home. I'll set it up. I'll connect it to my lights. And I'll test out some music, and I'll see which one I find runs easier for me. So I set both up today. Set up the Google Home. It took longer to set up the Google Home than it took to set up the Amazon Alexa. So already I was pretty impressed with Alexa. I'm like, hey, good on you. All you need to do...
What made it take so long?
It's just you have to go through you have to connect them both to a Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then set them up by saying a phrase word for each of them. So you have to say like, okay, Google, and then you have to say Alexa, and then they recognize your voice and stuff. And you have to download the apps for each one on your device.
Okay.
So you have to download the Alexa app and then the Google Home app, but you also have to download the Google Assistant app. So two. So
okay.
just right there, it took a little longer to set up the Google Home Mini than the Alexa, just from that, and that, which is fine. I had all night to figure out which one I wanted more, and all of today. So, but already Alexa was ahead of the game there because she was just easier to set up. So I had them both running. I had them both playing music. I had them both doing, like I wanted to know what a waterfall sounded like, or I wanted to know how to say something in French. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Yeah. Once I started doing that, though, the Google Home with its like Google searching capabilities was actually coming out on ahead when I was asking it these things. So, and now we're back to tied, because the Alexa's very smart, and she wants to use Amazon. You know what I mean? For a lot of things, like, lists, grocery shopping, all of that thing.
Okay, so like Alexa is kind of like a day-to-day helping you schedule stuff.
Yeah, honestly, that is exactly what she excels at. You need lists, you need reminders, you need calendar, you need that, you need to order something. It is her, 100%. She has the edge in that regard. So I have these Philip Hue lights in my apartment that that Steph gave me, because she won those at the Stag and Dough, actually. So I know, holy shit. So we set them up in my house, and I connect both devices to it. So I connect the Alexa to the lights, and the Google to the lights, and I start asking them to do things with the lights. And Alexa struggled to do things with the lights. She could in the end, she could only turn them on and off, and I was really sad. And the Google Home could do the color changing and shit like that, and she could make them 50%, 100%, and I'm sure Alexa could have too, but it took setup time. So when I initially thought that the Alexa setup was quicker, it turns out it is not true. You have to go in and you have to input what you want for, like, let's say if I need the colors of the lights red, purple, and green or something like that. You have to go into the Alexa app, type in that you need these colors, and then when you say it, she might do it. Whereas for the Google Home, you can just say, hey, I want the lights to be green. Yeah, and boom, green lights. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And then, so in my opinion, the Home was winning at this point, because I was like, I'm impressed. The Google Home, it does take longer for the initial setup, but that's because it was making me go through and add the lights in right away, add any like other speakers or anything else that I had. So I was like, oh, dope. Like, I'd rather do it all at once, get it out of the way. So tonight when I was cooking food, I needed music, and I needed a timer. And Google did it both at the same time. So anyways, I have the Google Home now, and I gave away the Alexa. So I'm sorry, but I didn't just give it away. I gave the Alexa to Steph's dad because he was loving them both the other day. He was like asking all these questions, and he was so interested in them, and it kind of felt like he was like, "Why do you have two?"
He was just genuinely interested, and he wanted one, most likely, right?
Oh yeah, he 100%. If I didn't give him one and I kept both, he would have gotten one anyways. So I'm like,
yeah. So I mean, you save them some money too.
Yeah. So I'm like, and that's another thing. The Echo Dot is $70, and the Home is $80. So for $10 difference, I mean, you're not missing out on much, honestly.
No.
So in my opinion, the Home Mini wins over the Alexa Dot. Now, for the full-sized Alexa versus the full-sized Home, I have no idea. This was strictly just a
Mini versus Mini.
Mini versus Mini, Dot versus Mini, and I would give the Home 8 out of 10 and the Alexa 6.5, 7 out of 10, because they both excel in different areas. But for my current lifestyle, I needed the Mini. So good job, Google. And that's exactly why I was thinking about getting the Pixel 3, because it works even better with that phone. So I mean, that's all I have for this week.
Yeah, that's about all I've got for
that's
this
all
week.
You have for this week. thanks everybody for listening, because I know some people listened. Next week we'll be back with new topics. Stay tuned for Roll Up the Rim. Might have a surprise for that, and trust me, it's a surprise.
And maybe a guest.
Yeah, might have a guest next week, actually, already. Someone interested in coming on and talking stuff with us. Expect more technology topics. Expect more video game topics. Expect just really anything in between along those lines. Talked about phones today. Didn't know that we were going to, but
not a single.
We are on the, technology, video game. Basically, think what millennials would talk about. That's probably what we're going to talk about.
I think I might eventually bring in some like vehicles topics,
Yeah, honestly, we'll do the whole 9 yards, Like, there's nothing that's off limits. If something crazy happens on a Sunday night and we record on a Monday, we want to talk about it, but it really has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter. We will. So
talk about whatever comes to mind.
Literally, exactly. So, yeah, thanks everybody for listening, and it's just two bros.
Two bros.